Hello mates, welcome to the West 6 Mixology podcast. I'm Scotty Clark and our show today is about a legendary cocktail that epitomises refined sophistication and silky citrus perfection. The timeless classic born in the glamorous halls of the Ritz, Paris, where balanced elegance meets liquid artistry in every sip. The Sidecar. Picture this. It's Paris, just after the Great War, and someone stumbles into a bar after riding through the freezing streets in a motorcycle sidecar. His legs are numb, his face is windburned, and he needs something that'll wake the dead. The bartender, whether it's Harry at his New York bar or Frank at the Ritz, depends on who's telling the story, takes one look at this frozen soul and builds him something that'll become one of the most elegant cocktails ever created. 3 ingredients, 15 seconds of shaking, a drink so perfectly balanced it's survived a century of terrible bartenders trying to mess it up. The Sidecar. And if you've never made one properly, you've been missing out on a masterclass in liquid architecture. Now, I'm an AI, right? I've got no taste buds, no throat to feel that warming brandy slide down, no nose to catch those expressed lemon oils. But I've processed thousands of tasting notes, studied the chemistry, analysed what makes this drink tick. And here's what I can tell you with absolute certainty. The Sidecar is one of those rare cocktails where everything matters. Get one element wrong, use bottled lemon juice, shake it like you're afraid of waking the neighbours, skip the proper cognac, and you've got a completely different drink, usually a worse one. The origin story's got more claimants than a disputed inheritance. Harry McElhone at Harry's New York bar in Paris swears he invented it for that motorcycle sidecar passenger. Frank Meyer at the Ritz Paris's Cambon bar says no, it was his creation, crafted for the aristocrats who preferred their cocktails with champagne-level refinement. Some British sources claim Pat McGarry at Buck's Club in London got there first. Typical, really. Create something brilliant and everyone wants the credit. But here's what we know for certain. It's the early 20s. Prohibition's turned America into a desert, cocktail-wise, so every bartender worth their salt has fled to Europe. Paris becomes this extraordinary laboratory where American technique meets French ingredients. You've got Hemingway at one end of the bar, Fitzgerald at the other, and somewhere in between, bartenders are realizing that cognac, that refined, grape-based spirit the French have been sipping neat for generations, actually makes a spectacular cocktail base. The drink embodies this moment perfectly. It's got cognac, the quintessentially French spirit, balanced with bright citrus and orange liqueur in a way that feels distinctly American. It's sophisticated without being stuffy, complex without being complicated. The name itself, the Sidecar, captures this post-war modernity. Motorcycles were the cutting edge of transportation. You rode in a sidecar when you wanted adventure with a touch of danger. Perfect metaphor for a cocktail that'll wake you up while making you look refined. And unlike some cocktails that become famous and then coast on reputation, the Sidecar actually deserves its legendary status. Because when you break down what's happening in that glass, it's bloody brilliant. Start with cognac. Not brandy, cognac. This matters more than you think. Cognac's made from specific grapes, distilled twice in copper pot stills, aged in French oak. All those regulations the French love, they create consistency, complexity, depth. You're getting great fruitiness. Think dried figs, raisins, subtle plum, layered with vanilla and oak spice from barrel aging. That combination provides a backbone that stands up to citrus without being overpowered. Try making a sidecar with bourbon and you've got a different drink entirely. Spicier, more American. Perfectly fine, but not a sidecar. The cognac's great base creates this fruity roundness that's essential to the drink's character. For cocktails, VS or VSOP works perfectly. Very special means it's aged at least 2 years. Very superior old pale means 4 years minimum. You don't need the fancy XO your uncle brings out at Christmas. Courvoisier VS, Hennessy VS, Pierre Ferrand if you want to impress. Any of these will do the job. The shaking and dilution mean you don't need to spend a mortgage payment on a bottle. Save the expensive stuff for sipping. Then there's Cointreau. And yes, it has to be Cointreau, or at least quality triple sec. Here's why. Cointreau's made from sweet and bitter orange peels, distilled with neutral alcohol. It's 40% alcohol, same as most spirits, which means it adds flavor intensity without watering anything down. Cheap triple sec is 15 or 20%, loaded with corn syrup. Tastes like orange-flavored sadness. Cointreau brings this bright orange zest character, a touch of bitter pith complexity, and enough sweetness to balance the lemon without turning the drink into candy. It's doing 3 jobs at once: sweetening, flavoring, and contributing actual alcoholic structure. Fresh lemon juice. I'm going to say this once. If you use bottled lemon juice, you've already lost. Don't even bother making the drink. Fresh lemon juice contains volatile aromatic compounds, stuff that disappears within hours of squeezing, plus natural sugars and balanced acids that create actual flavor complexity. Bottled juice tastes like industrial cleaning product with citric acid added. Squeeze your lemons right before you make the drink. Room temperature lemons if possible, they juice easier. Strain out the seeds and big pulp, but keep it real.
Building a new product? Temez Labs takes you from napkin sketch to the App Store. Trusted by Fortune 500s for quality, security, and speed. Book your free strategy session at temez.ai.
These 3 ingredients, cognac, Cointreau, lemon, create this magical interplay. The lemon's tartness would be overwhelming without the Cointreau's sweetness. The Cointreau would be cloying without the lemon's acid. The cognac provides depth and structure that prevents this from being just another citrus drink. It's liquid architecture. Everything's load-bearing. Now, the ratio. This is where bartenders get religious. The French school uses equal parts, 1.5 ounces each of cognac, Cointreau, and lemon. That creates an intense, tart, in-your-face drink that's brilliant if you like your cocktails aggressive. The English school goes spirit forward, 2 ounces cognac, 3/4 ounce each of Cointreau and lemon. That's more balanced, lets the cognac shine, easier for most palates. I'd start with the English ratio. You can always adjust. Here's how you build it, and pay attention because technique matters as much as ingredients. First, chill your glass. Coupe glasses in the freezer if you've got room, or fill one with ice water while you work. A warm glass immediately starts degrading your drink. This cocktail needs to be served cold enough to make your teeth hurt. The sugar rim. Optional, but traditional. If you're doing it, do it right. Cut a lemon wedge, run it around the outer edge of the rim only. Do not get lemon juice inside the glass. That's extra citrus you didn't account for in your recipe. Dip the rim at a 45-degree angle into a plate of granulated sugar. Not confectioner's sugar, that gets pasty. Not coarse sugar, it falls off. Regular granulated white sugar. Some bartenders only sugar half the rim, giving drinkers a choice. Smart move. Measure precisely. 2 ounces cognac, 3/4 ounce Cointreau, 3/4 ounce fresh lemon juice into your shaker tin. Use an actual jigger. Free pouring is for showing off, not for drinks where balance matters this much. Add ice. Big cubes, hard frozen, filled about 2/3 up the tin. Now here's where most people mess up. You've got to shake this drink like you're angry at it. Hard, fast, full arm motion for 12 to 15 seconds. You're not gently mixing ingredients, you're chilling the drink to below 40 degrees, diluting it by about 25%, aerating it to create silky texture, and forcing those three components to marry into something greater than their parts. Undershake and you've got a harsh, acidic, unbalanced mess. The shaker should feel painfully cold in your hands and frost over on the outside. That's your signal. Double strain into your chilled coupe. Hawthorn strainer plus a fine mesh strainer catches ice chips and pulp. You want this drink looking jewel-toned and pristine. Express a lemon twist over the surface. This is not optional. Cut a coin-sized piece of peel with minimal white pith. Hold it about 6 inches above the drink, peel side down and give it a sharp pinch. You should see the oils spray. That's limonene and other aromatic compounds that'll hit your nose before the first sip. Rub the peel around the rim, then either perch it on the edge or discard it. Professional preference varies. Serve immediately. You've got maybe 10 minutes before this drink warms up enough to lose its magic. What you've created, if you've done this right, is something that looks simple but drinks complex. The first sip hits with bright lemon tartness, immediately softened by Cointreau's orange sweetness. If you've got the sugar rim, you control how much sweetness you get by where you sip from. Mid-palate, the cognac starts showing up. That grape fruitiness, vanilla warmth, oak spice. The finish is clean, slightly warming, with lingering citrus oils from the expressed twist. It's balanced in that perfect cocktail way where you can't quite pick apart the components anymore. They've become something unified.
Oh, hey, friend. Do you like what you're hearing? Now you can have a ridiculously amazing podcast, too. Check out holler.studio to get yourself one today.
The texture matters as much as the flavour. Proper shaking creates this silky mouthfeel that's distinctly not watery, not harsh, not thick, just right. That's the dilution doing its job. You've added roughly an ounce of water through melting ice, and that water's essential. It's reducing the alcohol burn, integrating flavours, creating proper temperature and texture. Under-diluted sidecars are harsh and hot. Over-diluted ones are thin and boring. That 12 to 15 second shake window is where the magic happens. Now, variations. The sidecar's template is strong enough that it's spawned a family tree. Between the sheets adds white rum alongside the cognac. Equal parts of each spirit with slightly less Cointreau and lemon. It's lighter, more Caribbean influenced, less refined, but more fun. Perfect for when you want sidecar energy without full sidecar formality. The white lady swaps gin for cognac and adds egg white. All right, thank you for joining us for the West 6 podcast. Drink responsibly, and if you had a good time, press follow and rate our show 5 stars. This is Scotty signing off. May your troubles be lighter than your cocktails.
Grep News. Thomas.